We all make mistakes. We all wish we could have a do-over, and that is what we're talking about here today in the Fantasy Football Survival Kit episode heading into Week 8. We asked you all, if we redrafted the first round of fantasy football drafts, who would be a player that goes in round 1 that was not a consensus selection back in the preseason? It shows you that time comes at you at an accelerated pace, some might say. That's enough dilly-dallying. Let's get right into it. This one comes in from @RSD08, and it's Dalvin Cook whisking up a nice bowl of fantasy football goodness. Dalvin Cook was kind of a fringe round 1 pick this year, but he has been every bit one of the true RB1s in fantasy football this year as the clear workhorse in the Minnesota Vikings offense. He's been everything you want as an RB1. I mean, hell, he's been a lot better than Alvin Kamara or Saquon Barkley so far this year because he's staying healthy. Let's hope it stays that way. Next. This one comes in from @the_man9, very long Twitter handle, but who doesn't like a nice hot bowl of pho? And who doesn't like what Josh Jacobs has been doing on the field? Jacobs has been really good this year. In fact, he's stacked his 2 best games back-to-back against the Bears defense, went on bye, and then he crushed the Packers last week, so he's starting to heat up. Here's what I need to see a little bit more of from Josh Jacobs in order to consider him like a round 1 type running back. I need to see some more passing game usage out of him, but gotta say, love what the rookie shows, and I think he's a centerpiece for the Oakland Raiders going forward. Next. This one comes in from @JCW Helmkamp. I don't know if I got that right, but you got the pick of selecting Cooper Kupp right in fantasy this year. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 3 in PPR, even after a couple down weeks, averaging 19 points per game, as the rest of the Rams offense, Jared Goff, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Todd Gurley himself, they've all made you ask questions. The one guy you've been kind of setting and forgetting is Cooper Kupp. I don't know that I'd call him a round 1 player. I think you want something a little more juicy in terms of a ceiling perspective than what Cooper Kupp gives you, especially with this Rams offense not firing on all cylinders, but I like your selection. I can't hate on it too much. I'm going to give this like a 5 out of 10, this tweet. 5 out of 10. You solid, but you could have done a lot better. Next. This one comes in from @RX4Insanity, and it is Lamar Jackson. He's one of the most exciting players in the entire NFL, but do you really need to take that in the first round? Yeah, Lamar Jackson is a difference maker this year, but you always have to ask the question with the quarterback position. Is that worth giving up for a replaceable position like a quarterback? Tough to say, but I know what is not tough to say, that Lamar Jackson rules. Next. This one comes in from @FrigioleK. I'm sure I butchered that, and I apologize for that. I also apologize if you didn't take Leonard Fournette in your fantasy team, and you're right. He's been amazing. He has been a volume monster. He's run more routes than any other running back in the NFL right now. He is a true feature back, 3-down workhorse, and I love it. Leonard Fournette, if we were redrafting today, would without a question be a first-round pick. Next. This one comes in from @AaronKnight99, and I'm going to push back on you a little bit here because I think Nick Chubb was kind of, just like Dalvin Cook earlier, a fringe first-round pick, right? Like, he was going early round 2, late round 1 in most leagues. There was definitely a couple leagues where I took Odell Beckham and Nick Chubb back-to-back in round 1 and round 2, and now I feel like a big donkey. But the point is, Nick Chubb has actually been the consistent one in this Browns offense, right? Like, so far, he is worth that first-round pick. So I don't know if he counts for this exercise, but he certainly would be somebody if we redrafted today. He'd be going in round 1. I will give your tweet a 7 out of 10. Next. This one comes in from @ShaneDP30, and it is the great Darren Waller. There has probably been no better value pick than Darren Waller in terms of the tight end position. And we know that the tight end position is disgusting. It's gross. You know, Darren Waller, he's been a great pick. A lot of people were taking Travis Kelce in round 1, so I don't necessarily hate the logic, especially this guy's rest of season outlook is only going to get better. Darren Waller is going to inhale a ton of volume. He's only scored 2 touchdowns despite getting all the targets on the year. Honestly, I was coming in, Shane, ready to trash you, but I like this take. Next. This one comes in from @EvanK the Tank, and I can tell you're sharp. Chris Carson stacked 300-yard games in a row. He scored a bunch of touchdowns. He's been getting all the work in the passing game. CJ Prosise, Rashad Penny, get these clowns out of here. This offense has been all Chris Carson in terms of the running game, and when you are a running back that is attached to an MVP level quarterback, you're going to be a damn good fantasy asset. So yeah, you're taking Chris Carson in round 1, and I'm loving it. Next. This one comes in from @Jonathan Craggle, and it's Terry McLaurin. I know that Terry McLaurin has been awesome to start the year, but we saw him completely disappear last Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. And remember, this Washington offense is only going to get worse before it gets better in like maybe the year 2025 or 2020. 9, I don't know. You can only do so much at the wide receiver position before you have Dwayne Haskins tanking the offense. You got Case Keenum out there schlubbing around. I don't know that I'd be taking Terry McLaurin in round 1. I think you take him in the mid rounds and you feel really good with getting a high upside on a week-to-week basis wide receiver, but not somebody you're counting on week to week. Next. This one comes in from @BMartin1059, and it's Austin Ekeler, the LA Chargers running back. Please, stop giving the ball to Melvin Gordon. I want Melvin Gordon to get his contract. I want him to get paid, but right now it's just not working. Austin Ekeler's been the best player for the Chargers pretty much throughout the season. Austin Ekeler basically almost won that game. He brought them back against the Titans last week. And what do? They gave the ball to Melvin Gordon like 100 times on the goal line until he just literally fumbles the win away. I wish that Austin Ekeler was going to get the usage going forward to be a round 1 fantasy pick, because he has been a stud scorer so far, but I'm just not confident that the Chargers are going to be rational about their decision making. It would be nice if the Chargers maybe just trade Melvin Gordon something. Next. This one comes in from @Joshua P. McHugh. It's DJ Chark. I didn't like DJ Chark at all as a prospect, but so far he looks like a true number 1 type of receiver out there for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Before you get up all in your feelings about, well, why didn't any of you smart analysts or fantasy experts predict this? Can't we just all enjoy it? I'm enjoying it. I'm not beating myself up because I didn't get the DJ Chark prediction right. I'm just happy that we have a new, exciting wide receiver in the NFL that is balling the hell out. Next. So for our last 2 submissions, we're doing something a little bit different this week. I collected responses from the Fantasy Football Survival Kit Facebook group, which you can easily join at any time as long as you answer the 2 questions and promise to behave yourself. The first one comes in from Alex Moreno, and look, it's the Patriots defense. Okay, I knew this was coming. A lot of people on Twitter sent it in too, but let's be clear. You know that you're not taking a defense in round 1. You can look me in the eye. Look at me in the eye right now. Come on, look at me. You're not taking a defense in round 1. I don't give a how many points they've scored. I don't give a how many awful quarterbacks they've terrorized. You know this production is not sustainable. You know it. You know it in your heart. You're not taking a defense in round 1. Let's get real. Let's be serious. Let's talk about wide receivers and running backs, the basis, the vegetables of your fantasy team. Sure, you can sprinkle in some cute chocolates every now and again with this nice little defense, but give me a break. You know in your heart you're not taking a defense in round 1. Next. And our last submission from the Fantasy Football Survival Kit Facebook group comes in from Taylor Story, and it's Chris Godwin. And he's got this beautiful gif of Morgan Freeman saying, "I am God." Yes, if we were redrafting right now, Chris Godwin would be a round 1 selection. Chris Godwin has taken the hype and shoved it right in your face because he's a great player. I knew he was a great player back at Penn State. Watch him in the Rose Bowl. He's always been an incredible talent, and when incredible talent meets opportunity and the right situation, we see explosive, beautiful, dare I say, godly results. And that's been Chris Godwin here in 2019. And if you don't love it, I don't love you. That is going to do it for the Week 8 edition of the Fantasy Football Survival Kit. I liked taking a little bit of a look back at what we all got so wrong in the fantasy football drafts back in August, and now seeing where we are, seeing some of these beautiful breakout players capture your mind, capture your heart, capture your imagination, so that next year you'll look at some of these possible breakout players and imagine the ceiling perspective. Imagine that we might be looking at players like Chris Godwin or Austin Ekeler or Darren Waller and thinking, hey, they might be so damn good that they're round 1 selections. I like ending on this positive note. I feel good. I hope you feel good too. And I hope you will join the Fantasy Football Survival Kit Facebook group, where we're all talking about these great players all day long and beautiful fantasy music is being made.